Thank you everyone for coming. Parents, faculty, friends, distinguished guests, undistinguished guests. You know who you are. Random people who like graduation ceremonies. And of course, the graduating class of 2012. We have finally made it. 4 years later, we are still standing. And perhaps more impressively, the building is still standing. First and foremost, I'd like to thank my parents. Mom, Dad, you guys have tolerated me for the past 18 years. And to all the parents out there, I think I speak for most of us students when I say, sorry about the past 18 years. It feels like only yesterday I was an adorable first grader at Conan, co-starring with Anna Zambelli in my first and only musical. My awkward stages of middle school, unfortunately, feel all too recent as well. And if you don't believe me, you really need to see my 6th grade yearbook photo. And now, high school has flown by and so quickly come to an end. Though it's finally over, I can't help but think back to all of the amazing memories we had. Like Mrs. Sherry, making sure we all got to class on time. Charlie making sure we didn't, or should I say couldn't, leave school, ever. And the wonderful Charity Week Carnival that we all enjoyed. When I was told that I would be speaking here a few weeks ago, I handled it in a manner very reminiscent of my college essays. I opened up Microsoft Word late last night and began procrastinating on Facebook. I'm kidding. As I first started writing my speech on the way over here this afternoon, I immediately sought to use a metaphor. The English department would be very proud of me. What can I say? They have taught me so much things real good. I sat around and pondered what could accurately represent high school. I tried relating it to fruit, to an assembly line, and even to taking a shower. Ultimately, the best comparison I came up with is that Andover is just like the fur traders of the 18th century. Most of them were headed to Michigan. No metaphor can fully describe high school. It is such a unique experience. And when one looks at a brilliant class as I am right now, they might see doctors, lawyers, and even the first black woman president. Aside from the last one, I don't. I see none of these things. And our state and nationally renowned artists. The talent in this class is second to none. We have the same, if not better, experience as elite private school students. And with the money I saved my parents from a Cranbrook education, we bought a small petting zoo for my backyard. So how do you like your ties and blazers now, Cranbrookers? We have taken these talents and have been accepted into some of the most prestigious universities in the country. We have students competing in all divisions of athletics in the fall. We have students headed to music and art schools to tune their talents. And in 10 years, I fully expect the robotics team to have successfully taken over the world. I also expect Jonah Yusuf to be the first brain surgeon to open up his private practice on the moon. And one day, when I walk into a hospital in need of a rhinoplasty, I hope that it is one of you behind the operating table helping me to pronounce it properly. I also realize that many of us will not be doctors, lawyers, or superheroes. Many of us almost didn't make it into these seats today. But regardless, I have high hopes for this graduating class. However, a lot of us are under the notion that dream schools are what determine the outcomes of our lives. For the most part, I think these people are incorrect. It is not the prestige that makes us successful. It isn't the big decisions like choosing which school to attend. Rather, it's the smaller decisions in our everyday lives that define us. Although we are caught up in making the right decisions, it may in fact be the mistakes that teach us more about who we are. It is these bad decisions that we make on a day-to-day basis that help develop our character. Wearing nothing under your gowns today could be a mistake. Telling Mrs. Johnston that I took her motorcycle out last night could probably be a mistake too. By the way, you might need an oil change if you're here. The biggest decisions of our lives thus far, the school that we are choosing, might even be a mistake, though it's a little late to change your mind. You might wake up during your senior year of college and realize you aren't particularly interested in the major you have almost completed. You could suddenly realize you don't want to be a doctor or a paleontologist or even a college graduate. Our minds are ever changing, and we shouldn't be afraid of the unknown that comes with each new step we take, because that is all we will experience in the real world. Many of us have an idea of what you want to do right now. And as a commencement speaker, I can't be much more cliche than to tell you to follow your awesome dream. But whatever you think that dream is, I'm sure it will change, and that is completely fine. No matter how much you plan for your future, you will never be able to control life's unpredictability. Your wants are going to change as you experience the real world. And what you want right now, to go to the senior all-night party, probably isn't what you want when you're 28 years old. That would be very weird. 4 years from now, as you sit in your college graduation, I can tell you with some certainty that your experience won't be what you expected. You could be headed off to Wall Street, or maybe getting your PhD in gender studies. Or you may even end up joining the Peace Corps and taking a vow of poverty, much to your parents' dismay. Through the good, and perhaps more importantly, the bad decisions, we establish our identities. Looking back, you will want to be able to say, I wouldn't change a thing. Hopefully you won't regret the bad decisions, as they have taken you places you would have never gone otherwise. Parents, please note, I'm not giving your kids a free pass to emulate Charlie Sheen. You may think that you need to graduate from a certain university with a certain major so you can live in a certain city to work at a certain place, to be wherever you think you want to be in 15 years. Andover, this is my advice to you. Take classes that you find yourself actually interested in. Maybe try underwater basket weaving. Try the food in the vegan section of the dining hall. Maybe. But regardless, go out into the world with an open mind about what the future holds for you. To quote the Magic School Bus, we all need to go out into the world and take chances, make mistakes, and get messy. Mistakes are inherent in every part of life. Thankfully, high school is one of the best places to make these bad decisions, as we all know maybe a little too well. We are young and lucky enough to have an institution that has helped us grow from our mistakes. And here we sit at commencement, having completed our 4 years at Andover, receiving our diplomas. This is the ceremony that concludes our high school experience. And upon looking for inspiration for the ending of the speech, it dawned on me that commencement could be broken down into 2 words: commence and mint. And that's exactly what I think we should all consider this ceremony, a minty fresh start to the rest of our lives. So go out into the world, Andover seniors, with fresh breath and the knowledge that mistakes are unavoidable, but ultimately serve as a catalyst for profound reinvention. Congratulations to the class of 2012, and good luck. Thank you.